Welcome back everybody, Matt the Man here. Once again, before we get going today, subscribe to the channel. Just underneath the video it has a subscribe button. Subscribe, like, hit that thumbs up button, comment if you want. But here we go. We're going into, it's that time. Finally, I didn't do this last year because of unexpected circumstances. But this year, I'm doing my favorite movies of 2022. I used to call it the top 10 movies of the year, but I have learned over the years putting together an actual top 10 doesn't actually work for me because a lot of times, number one, I hate putting a number one movie for the year because thinking that movie ended up being a movie that came out later in the year and I've only seen it once. Then I go back and watch it and I go, I don't know why I put that as my number one. I might not even make it into my top 10. What was I thinking? You weren't thinking. You're a dumbass. So I stopped doing the top 10 list. And like I said, there's a lot of movies that come out near the end of the year where I only get to see them once. And I'm like, well, then I start doing that little debate of, do I put it in my top 10? Do I not? I liked it, but when I go back and watch it a second time, and I'm going to like it more or less. So, I just call it my favorite movies of the year, and going in no particular order. With some honorable mentions that they were still very good movies, but I couldn't put them in my favorites. So here we go. Ready? Let's go. One of my honorable mentions is Fall came out in the summer. It was about the two young women who go climbing this scaffold. I thought it was a really fun, entertaining thriller, very suspenseful. Both Grace Fulton and Virginia Gardner did a very good job. So that was one of my honorable mentions. Another honorable mention was The Outfit. This was with Zoe Deutch, Dylan O'Brien, and Mark Ryan. It's a very confined movie in one setting. And it was great performances all around. Cinematography, look, set design, costumes. Very good movie. A lot of scenes that just played out without any cutting. So that was another honorable mention on my list. The Fallout was another one. Came out in January of last year. It starred Jenna Ortega. She had an amazing year in 2022. This was her first out of, then she did Scream and X and Wednesday. This was a hard movie to watch. It's about Jenna Ortega goes to school and there's a school shooting. And it deals with the aftermath of that school shooting. Her going psychologically dealing with that. Very powerful movie. Great performance by Jenna Ortega. But a very hard movie to watch. Especially with the recent school shootings and everything. It's not a movie that you're going to be able to sit down and just, really powerful movie. And even the ending is just like, oh my god. But still a very good movie, strong performance. So The Fallout was another honorable mention. Another honorable mention was, I'm going to put Babylon on here. I know I just had that review up over Christmas. I liked a lot of the movie. I liked a lot of the filming when they went into making movies. And that, I thought the acting by Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and Diego Calvin was great. But then there was a lot of stuff in that movie that I go, huh? And this is another movie where I might have to go back and watch a second time. Maybe I'll like it more, maybe I'll like it less. But that's why I'm at least going to put it on my honorable mentions for the year. And my last honorable mention, one of my last honorable mentions of the year is going to be All Quiet on the Western Front. This is on Netflix. It's a World War I movie. I watched it on New Year's Eve. And under excellent cinematography, I would say This might be even better than Saving Private Ryan when it deals with the actual war and representing the war, like on a so realistic level that you would almost think this was like a documentary. I mean, it was that well directed, shot, everything. Bloody, gory, the whole 9 yards. Great performances. The thing that did not make this movie in my favorites was they dealt with a lot of political stuff where they'd be going back and forth trying to negotiate terms to end the war, to come to an agreement. And every time they went back to that, it slowed the movie down. I mean, to the point that I would almost get up and start doing something because I got to be so bored with just going back to the political, And for a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, you could have easily cut out most of the political stuff and kept it a great, tight 2 hour movie, and that would have been easily in my favorite movies of the year. Violent Night, the David Harbour playing Santa Claus movie. I did not expect this movie to be as good as it was. It was fun, it was action-packed, it was bloody, it was gory, it was touching at times. It made great use of referencing Home Alone, Die Hard. This will definitely be a classic for years to come, coming up in like 2023 in December. No, Violent Night makes the honorable mention. Now I'm getting into my favorites. Starting out with Elvis. Elvis has left the building. I thought this movie was very good. One of the best biofilms on a musician. Austin Butler did an amazing performance. This will be a career highlight. The cinematography, the set design, production design, costumes, the music choices, and what Baz Luhrmann did with the music of Elvis and everything else. Very good film. Then we got The Whale, the Brendan Fraser movie that's getting him a lot of Oscars. Darren Aronofsky directed. I thought it was a great, powerful acting-wise for everyone in the movie. And a powerful story based on a stage play. Really good movie. The Banshees of Inisherin. This is the one directed by Martin McDonagh, who did 3 Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. This is a very good movie. Very dark. It's a dark comedy. It is a dark comedy. Great cinematography. I would invite the 3rd best film, maybe even the 2nd best shot film of the entire year of 2022. The cinematography, shooting in Ireland, is breathtaking. Every shot, unbelievable. The Knives Out sequel, Glass Onion. I thought this was also great ensemble. Probably the funniest movie of the year. Ryan Johnson made a great, even better sequel than the original. Daniel Craig was great. Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, Kate Hudson, Catherine Hahn. Can't wait for a 3rd Knives Out movie. Then we get Netflix Pinocchio. I thought Netflix Pinocchio was outstanding. The animation alone will probably win for Best Animated Film of the Year. The voice cast was great. The themes, the adult themes in this movie were great. The way Guillermo del Toro recontextualized the story during World War I, but also still having those moments of the Pinocchio story in there. Great. The Woman King, starring Viola Davis, Lashana Lynch, John Boyega. I thought this was another great movie. Surprise. The action scenes were great. The Viola Davis was great. The cinematography, very good story, powerful story. one of my favorite movies of the year. And of course, The Batman. Yes, The Batman. Of course, The Batman. I'm not gonna argue with anyone. Other than there are people that have put this movie as their number one for the year. The acting was great. Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Colin Farrell, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright. The cinematography is one of the best shot comic book movies ever. Ever. People were going nuts over the trailer because of the cinematography. Then you watch this movie and you go, the music, great. The Ave Maria song, I like that in there. The Batman theme was great. The Catwoman theme, Penguin theme, Paul Dano's theme, the Riddler. The one thing the action scenes were great. I love the dark noir storyline, the Gotham City looks lived in. I love the opening with the narration on Halloween night. I love the Batman art in this movie. The one thing I've always wanted in a Batman movie is a detective noir Batman movie in the vein of Seven, which is my favorite David Fincher movie, and we finally got that in the Batman. So, and to see Robert Pattinson as Batman for 90% of the movie, which we've never seen that in a Batman movie, yeah, it was great, awesome Batman movie. Of course, that made one of my favorites. Another one, The Menu, with Ray Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Nicholas Hoult. This is another dark comedy, great. The themes on restaurant businesses, the ludicrousy, the over whatever it is. Great performances, great cinematography. This is another one like the Batman, like the Banshees of Inisherin and Pinocchio. One of the best looking movies of the year. The script, razor sharp dialogue, loved it. I got Top Gun Maverick. The movie, isn't it funny to say? Tom Cruise, Mr. Scientology. Well, funny enough, he brought everyone back to church. The church was the movie theater, and the movie, and the thing that the sermon was talking about today was Top Gun Maverick. Because guess what? Everyone came out and saw Top Gun Maverick. Made over $1.4 billion, which no one thought that would ever happen. And not only that, it was a great movie. The movie of the summer. Acting was great. Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, Glenn Powell, Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm. The action scenes in the air with the aerial dogfights. Great cinematography. Humor, romance, action. The themes of father-daughter, the father-son relationship. And then the old and the new. And I also liked how this whole thing was also an allegory on the movie business right now in general. Like, Tom Cruise wants to fly planes, but Ed Harris is like, no, we're doing the drones. Drones are safer, drones are the thing. And I love that line that, when Ed Harris says, your generation is going into extinction. It's headed for extinction. And Tom Cruise was like, yeah, but not today. That's really an allegory for the streaming and movie theaters. Now it's streaming, and then you got your Christopher Nolans, your Tom Cruises, your Steven Spielbergs, who are like, you know what? I'd much rather put my movie in the movie theater than just putting it on a streaming service. So, it's like a war. Once again, an allegory of streaming versus the movie theater going experience. The streaming going experience and the movie theater going experience. So, I loved it. Top Gun. Between the Batman and Top Gun, I've seen those the most so far this year. And actually, Top Gun Maverick was the only movie in the entire year I saw twice in the theater. And then my final pick is The Fabelmans, the Steven Spielberg directed film that deals with a semi-autobiography of him becoming a filmmaker. What's not to love? Me watching this, my love for film, my love for making movies, seeing that on screen, seeing the path that Spielberg went on, seeing certain elements of the movie that related to my own life, of him making movies, of his parents getting a divorce, and all that. Cinematography, acting, Michelle Williams, Paul Dano, Gabriel, whatever his last name, who plays the young Steven Spielberg. Great. Music, great. John Hirsch has a great moment in the movie. One of the best movies of the year, in my opinion. So those are my favorite movies of the year. I've saw a lot of movies this year. Saw a lot of movies on streaming, saw a lot of movies in theaters. But these are my favorites. I didn't see every movie though in theaters. So, there are some movies I did not see. But overall, those are my favorites and my honorable mentions.